This is just me stalling, so I guess I should probably get everything set up for when it's out of the washer and dryer. Hello everyone! Welcome to another video with me, Stephanie Canada, the owner of Backroom Finds. Today I'm going to be doing another one of my one-day make series. This time, however, I am partnering with Miss Kristina of the Eyre Effect. She and I are doing a virtual collaboration. She is going to show you how to make a gathered skirt, and I'm going to show you how I make a pleated skirt. So make sure that you guys pop over to her channel and check out her video as well. This may not have been my best plan for a few reasons. One, this fabric I didn't remember to wash last night, so I'm currently washing it right now. Good start, Stephanie. And number two, I opted to pick a directional print that runs long ways on the fabric, as opposed to width ways on the fabric. Which means your girl gets to cut and piece things together again to attempt to make them fit. A few things I do want to preface is that I am using this pattern and attempting to make it work, but I'm not a 30-inch waist. So, yeah. We're just going to take the little measurements there and attempt to do the math and make it work for my currently 38-inch waist. Let's go ahead and dive in and see how I handle this one, 'cause I don't know the answer yet. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my floor! As you can see here, I was pretty sure that I had put the pattern that I intended to use originally back in my pattern box. Alas and alack, I had not. So this is me doing the epic hunt for the pattern. Once I acquired the pattern, I laid out the pieces that I intended to use, which was the A, where there were 3 panel sections for the skirt and the waistband, and flopped out my material, laid out the pattern piece, and realized it wasn't going to fit. So after I take a moment to be dramatic, I then get the pattern piece back out and measure it so that I have a vague idea of what the original pattern that I thought I was going to use was asking for. Once I knew that my length was going to be 33.5 inches, I then busted out my scissors and I thought I'd try the old school way of tearing that fabric. And you'll discover why that was a terrible idea later in this video. The other thing I had to contend with is that this was an old duvet cover that, even though I had soaked and washed it, I hadn't been able to get out all the stains. So whenever you see me holding up a piece of fabric and flapping it angrily, that's normally me checking for stains and tears so that I can avoid them in my skirt. And while this wasn't completely avoidable, I was able to circumnavigate the largest of the stains. So, winning! And now I come to tackling the waistband. Oh, I wish my waist was this small. I busted out my trusty pattern weights to go ahead and help me lay this bad boy out. I did use the width of the waistband to cut out my waistband, but I am not a 30-inch waist, so I couldn't possibly use the actual waistband, so I just sort of winged it. Like this entire project. To accomplish the width of my waist, which is currently 38 inches, I did have to piece together the waistband pieces. I tried to cut them and line them up for print matching, which I only did a passable job at. And the other thing to note is that I actually ended up not needing one of those smaller pieces, so you get to see me seam rip that crap off later on. But what's the mug of the day, you ask? Well, that's right. It's Bing Bong. Now we've hit the point of my journey where I've realized that my fabric is not even close to a right angle, so I have busted out the incorrect item, aka a right angle iron that I use to cut wood with, to attempt to make the straight of grain, only to toss that aside and use the folding line of my table. Hooray for folding tables as a cutting board. Meh, it worked. This moment of cutting both sides of the fabric at the same time is brought to you by Don't Do What I Do. And to continue the blasphemy, I then used the original piece that I cut out as the pattern piece for all other pieces of the skirt that I was going to use. I ended up cutting out 4 pieces of the main fabric to use for the skirt, but after some deliberation, but not before I sewed all these things together, did I realize that I only could really use 3, at least with the mental math that I was capable of doing on that day. It is at this point that I busted out the handy-dandy ever-trusty internet to help me calculate my pleats. Fun fact, that didn't help either. So once I had chucked my pattern into the proverbial trash can, I made sure that I queued up the Closet Historian's tutorial on how she did her pleated skirt, and that really saved me in a lot of hard circumstances. So if you haven't watched that, you should pop over and watch her channel as well, because she is amazing. Now I'm going to sew all 4 of my skirt pieces together and all 3 of my waistband pieces together to only realize that I only need 3 skirt pieces and 2 parts of the waistband. Hooray for mental math. I guess it's just a trial and error situation at this point because I tried and I erred. And then I seam ripped them apart when I realized what I'd done. Now to make life slightly easier, I did pin my waistband to the ironing board itself so that I would have a good sturdy surface as I pinned all of the pleats. But now I seam rip the 4th panel off because I have no idea how to do that in a waistband that's this size. Yay! I started out pleating, guessing, and really having no idea if what I was doing was going to work, and happy surprise, by the time I got to the middle of the waistband, my calculations had been almost spot on, which absolutely flabbergasted me, and I was so happy that I decided to take my dinner, which is why you will see a drastic lighting change right about now. I then continued to pleat until it was all the way to the end of the waistband, where I was only missing about a ½ inch, so I fudged the last 2 pleats, which, now that I finished the skirt, I realized I didn't have to do. I could have left the pleats as is, and it would have fit me perfectly. Now I head over to my machine to go ahead and sew these bad boys down. I wasn't paying 100% attention to the waistband, and I definitely sewed a little crinkle halfway through that I did have to go back and unpick and lay flat because there was no way I was going to do all this work and then have this weird wonky waistband right at front center. Nope, not happening. Then I go ahead and pin the back seam as is, making sure that my brand new handy dandy new old stock metal zipper fits appropriately, and I make sure to mark the place where I change my stitches from basting to regular stitching with the pins. Once I go ahead and sew that bad boy, basting where the zipper is and trimming the stitch length down to an appropriate size for the rest of the seam, I then press it open after that, and unfortunately for me, opt to open up the basting stitches before I insert the zipper. That was a great idea. Please don't do that. Leave it closed, sew the zipper on, and then pop the basting stitches. You think I would remember these things, but alas, I did not, and caused a whole lot of work for myself that was wholly unnecessary. Yay for making life harder than necessary. That should be my motto. All I did to install my zipper was adjust my needle to the farthest left position and went to town, because I was too lazy to change to the zipper foot, which I'm not even sure where it is right now. So, hooray for small wins and knowing how to work with what you have. As, at this point of the night, I was feeling a little lazy, I did opt to machine top stitch down the top of the waistband and also attaching the back of the waistband to the skirt at the same time. It's going to help hold the pleats on the skirt, and it also attached the waistband fully to the pleated bottom. Double win! I do promise that I made sure to press open every seam in this, despite the fact that I didn't show you all of them. Again, my camera and technology, aka my camera battery, aren't always the greatest. Now, because my fabric had gotten so wonky, I really did want to make sure that my hem was going to be even all the way around. I did make sure to tape my meter stick and make sure that my skirt was 28 inches from the bottom of my waistband. To make the hem, I took a 1/2 inch fold after I made sure I was at my 28 inch mark pin and just pinned that puppy all the way around. And then after a crap load of hand sewing, hey, it's all done. Despite the fact that she's a little larger than I think I intended to make, and after measuring it confirming that it is definitely 1 inch too big in the waistband, I do truly enjoy this skirt and its swooshy factor. I'm proud of myself for doing all the pleats the first time. I wish I could have figured out how to put pockets into it. That's my biggest regret. But I like the way she flows. I think it looks nice. I think I have the trompe-l'oeil going the right way. Trompe-l'oeil? Trompe-l'oeil? Oh, that word's hard to say. Alright folks, I want to thank you all so much for watching this video today. If you liked this video, go ahead and click that like button. And if you want to see more from me, go ahead and click that subscribe button as well. You can turn on the bell for post notifications. tell me if they do anything, because I don't think they do. Make sure y'all go over and check out Kristina of the Eyre Effects gathered skirt video as well. Thanks so much for watching, y'all. See y'all next time. Hello everyone. Welcome to another video with me, Stephanie Canada. Fun fact, friends, if you don't keep your machine oiled, it does sound like it's going to fall apart. So last night I did a quick oil over because I thought my machine was going to explode. And thankfully that fixed all the cranky noises. Hooray for general machine maintenance. I'm going to show you how to make a relatively simple pleated skirt. I say relatively because I'm minorly in over my head, as I don't think I've made one of these since I was 17. For a school play, where people sit 30 feet away. Bye.
Well, hello.
Let's go ahead and attempt to